And in the book of Genesis 39, speak about the blessings that Jacob begin to give to each one of his sons. Jacob had 12 sons. And at the age of more or less 147, he began to give each one of them a blessings. He began to prophesy upon each one of them according to what they have done. He began to bless all of them. And, Jacob, being a loving father, like most of us are, or a loving mother, he did not speak to them according to his love towards them. Or let me just change that. He did not speak to them according to his emotion, his feelings. He spoke to them by faith according to what they have done in their life. Even though he loved the 12, but because he was a just person, a righteous person, he spoke to them according to what they have done. And I don't know if you remember, we spoke a couple of weeks ago that God loved each one of us the same way, but he does not treat each one of us in the same way, because each one of us receive according to our faith, according to our conduct, because God is righteous, because God is loved, because God is always right. He will not treat everybody the same, even though he loves everybody the same. But he will give to us according to our work, according to who we are, according to how we carry, according to our faith. Faith is not an emotion. Anger, sadness, fear, unhappiness, those things are an emotion. And when I mean happiness, I'm not talking about joy. Happiness is one thing and joy is something else. Happiness can be something that comes from the outside and make you feel good. Joy is something that comes from within.
Oh, shoot.
So when I say that anger, sadness, fear, and happiness are an emotion, that means those things have nothing to do with faith. Jacob felt an emotion towards his son, but he did not speak according to his emotion. He spoke according to his faith. And the same thing happened with each one of us. We all believe in God. We all say we are children of God. But not all of us will be treated the same thing. We all going to have what according to our faith, according to what we believe, according to our conduct of life. even though everybody believes in God, yet each one of us are going to live and going to have according to our faith. And faith, as I said before, it's not like anger that comes and go. Or sometimes it can become permanent. Faith is not like sadness that comes and go, but it can also become chronic. Faith is not like fear that comes and go, but it can also become chronic. Faith is a conduct, is a way of living. Faith is not a something of the spurt of the moment. You know, some people say, oh, I felt faith and I did this. No. We're not talking about an emotion and feeling. We're talking about a conduct, a way of living, a way of carrying ourselves each and every. Faith is not something of the moment. Faith is not something mental that I say in my mind, oh, I believe. No, faith is a daily doing, is a daily walk, is a daily living. And going back to this man, he gave to his son according to their faith, because he was a just man. We can allow ourselves to be controlled by anger, sadness, fear, or we can embrace faith. I can allow my feelings to overpower me and overtake me in such a way that I spend my whole day, that I spend my whole week, that I spend my whole year being sad, to the point that it become a chronic in me. I can allow myself to become exceedingly angry and live as an angry person each and every day, to the point it become chronic. Or can I allow myself to be a fearful person, to the point that every day I live my life in fear of death, of this could happen, of this can happen. Even though I believe in God, you could be the person right now who are living your life in fear, who are living your life with a chronic sadness that will turn into a chronic depression. Or you could be the person who allow yourself to live a life in anger, blaming the whole world and not taking responsibility for your own actions. Those are feelings that they become so strong, it can overpower us, and we end up surviving with it. Not living, because when we allow those feelings to overpower us, we're no longer living. We are surviving. But when I reject to being overpowered by anger, to be overpowered by sadness or fear, and I embrace faith, choosing consciously each and every day to believe for something better and to let go of the nonsense, that will keep me down for the rest of my life. We all have a choice. Even though we say and we all confess to believe in God, we can be those people or one of those who say, I live by faith, or I'm just surviving each and every day with my sadness, with my fear, with my anger. And you see, each one of the sons of Jacob, they could say, oh, because my father believed, because I say that I believe, I deserve the same thing like my brother. No, 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 no. Our conduct and action determine where we are and where we're going to be.
Okay.
Your conduct and action determine where you are. Know your, and also your emotions. If you are a person over emotional, over sad, over fear or anger, this strong emotion will determine your actions, where you are, and where you will be. But faith save us. Faith heal us. Faith lift us up. Faith is not an emotion like anger, sadness, fear, or extreme happiness. Faith is a steady conduct each and every day. Each and every week. That's what is faith. We have heard before that faith is just doing something at the moment. No, 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 no. Faith is a steady walk. I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking about believing each and every day, each and every second, each and every moment. Either I feel it or even feel angry or not, I believe. Either I feel sad or not, I believe. Either I feel fear or not, I believe. Even if I'm extremely happy or not, I believe. Those are feelings. And faith is a steady walk. It's a steady walk. You might be, or you might know people who are extremely sad. It is a conscious decision either to be controlled by the feeling of extreme sadness, extremely fear, or extreme anger. It is a conscious decision. I can either allow myself to be controlled by sadness. I can either dwell in the sadness, in the fear, or I can either shake it off, stop making excuses, and do something about it. So it's a matter of choice to either live in fear, sadness, anger, survive, or either to live in faith. And you know, when I mean faith, faith is a conduct, and you could see it there on the screen of your TV. A conduct, the manner in which a person behaves. I behave, we should behave according to what we believe. Conduct is a manner in which a person behaves, especially on a particular occasion or in a particular context. It's a conduct. Faith is not Sunday morning, Wednesday evening. Faith is either I feel tired, I feel fear, I feel sad, or I feel anger. If I allow those feelings that makes me human and makes me a normal person to live, that we all have those normal feelings to make us human. But if I allow myself to be controlled by fear, I'm not a trustworthy person. If I allow myself to be controlled by anger, I'm not trustworthy. You know, Jacob knew that there were some of his sons who were controlled by anger. And even though that they were his son, he could not trust them. It's not because he did not love them or him. It's because he knew that he or she chose to be controlled by anger. Or he or she choose to be controlled by fear or by sadness. So not all of them got the same, but each one of them receive according to what they live for, of that what their conduct was according to. My conduct is according to my faith. I'm going to have a steady walk. But if according to my streams emotion, I am not a trustworthy person. I love you, but I cannot trust somebody who's steadily in faith and somebody who is ruled by extremely anger, extremely sadness, or extremely fear. And Jacob blessed each one of them according to their conduct. And let me just share with you here so we can have a reference of what I'm talking about. And you and I can either live with a conduct of faith, or we can choose with this extremely sadness, extremely fear, extremely anger. It's a conscious decision. Or I shake off the anger, or it's nothing wrong to be angry, but it gets to the point you don't shake it off. That anger will shake you off. It's nothing wrong to feel sad, but if you don't shake off that sadness, it becomes chronic and it will become a part of your life. And every decision that you make will be according to that sadness, that fear. And it will not be according to a conduct of faith that brings stability. Because it's by faith, not by fear, not by anger, not by sadness that we are saved, that we are healed. It's by faith that I am healed, or that we are healed. It's by faith that we are saved, that we are delivered. It's not by, oh, I'm so sad. Oh, I'm so, no. It's by faith. It's by me believing, in spite of what I hear, or what I see, or what I fear. if you are the person extremely controlled by your emotion, extremely anger, extremely sadness, extremely fear, extremely happiness, but not faith, you will be a person unstable. And every decision will be based on that fear, on that sadness, on that anger. But if we shake off those things and we embrace assurance in God, this assurance called faith is the one that saved us. It's the one that healed us. It's the one that keep us. And Jacob, verse 1 says, then Jacob called his son and said, gather around so I can tell you what will happen to you in the days to come. I can tell you what will be of your life, because your life is according to your conduct. Not because that you are my son, because you are my daughter, that you deserve it. No, your life will be according to your conduct. And he said, assemble and listen, sons of Jacob. Listen to your father. He said, Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, my first sign of my strength, excellent in honor, excellent in power, turbulent as the water. He said, you are stable. I'm stable. You are very unstable. Even though you are my first son, and you are very unstable. You are so unstable that you look like water. He said, you will not longer excel. For you went up into your father's bed and into my couch, and you defile it. And then he goes on to Simeon. I'm not going to read all of it because it's a lot. He said, Simeon and Levi, or Levi, are brothers. Their words are weapons and violence. They are very, you can see, he said, you are Simeon and you cannot even control your words. You are violent. He said, even though you are my son, but that doesn't hide the truth that you are violent and your words are weapons of violence. He was telling them, it's according to your conduct. If you could be my son, you could be my daughter, I could love you. But if you do not embrace a conduct of faith, you will be unstable as water. He said, you are brothers. He said, Simeon and Levi are brothers. Their words are weapon of violence. Let me not enter in their counsel. In another word, I will not listen to you. You don't have nothing to tell me. And another chapter and another translation said, let me not be around you. You born in my house. You raised in my house. You are my blood. But I don't take your counsel, he said, because you don't have a conduct of faith. So I don't listen to what you say because I know better. He said they kill a man in their anger. And Armstrong as oxen as they please. Curse be in their anger, so fear and so fury, and so they're cruel. I will scatter them in Jacob and disperse them in Israel. And then he goes to Judah. I'm not going to read all of them because he speaks about each one of his sons. He said, Judah, your brothers will praise you. Your hand will be on the neck of your enemy. Your father's son will bow down to you. You are a lion, cub, Judah. You will return to the prey, my son, like a lion. He crushes and lies down. And he speaks to each one of his sons, not according to his emotion. And you see, this is the mind and the heart of God. That is not about stringly anger, sadness, or fear, but he spoke about according to their conduct. So our life will be according to our conduct of faith. If we choose to embrace faith, we're going to reap a harvest of faith. But if we allow ourselves to be controlled by anger, sadness, fear, or that string happiness, then we're not living by faith, but we are surviving. Because anger is a surviving tool. Sadness is another one. Fear is another one. You see, when a child is small and he comes to the sense of having fear, he don't jump because he knows he's going to break a bone. So fear, it was given to us as a tool for a moment, for a time, not to be involved, not to be caught up, not to live by it. Fear is that you don't jump from a building. Fear is not that you could live each day of your life with it, because it will paralyze you. Sadness was given to us as a tool so we can have empathy of our friends, so we can have the feelings and emotion of human, but not to live or be caught up every day in sadness, such a point that it become chronic and paralyze you to the point that you make decisions based on that. So each one of those tools were given to us so we can be human and be well balanced, but not that we can make decisions or live by fear, or live by anger, or live by sadness, or allow these extremely highs. So we don't have it, we look for it. Those things were given to us as a tool, but not that we can live by it. Because if we live by it, we are paralyzed. If your decision are made on anger, if my decision are made out of fear, sadness, or extreme happiness, then I'm not living by faith. Because faith is a steady conduct. When you see that the sadness creeping and it goes from 1 day to 1 week to 2 weeks and it becomes chronic. When you realize that that fear goes from 1 day to 3 days to 1 week to 3, and then that fear becomes chronic, that you no longer making decision based or was supposed to be in a decision based on faith, but based on fear, based on sadness, based on anger. This is not living by faith. But when I make a conscious decision to shake it off and embrace a conduct of faith that is an everyday thing, despite if I feel anger, if I feel sad, if I feel fear, or if I feel extremely happy, and my conduct, our conduct should be a conduct of faith. Each and every second. Then this is the faith that heals. This is the faith that saves. This is the faith that delivers. This is the faith that moves mountains. This is the faith that changes lives, that works wonders. So even though Jacob loved the 12, but to some of them he said, I cannot trust you because you are a man controlled by anger. You are a man stable like water. You are a man who you are violent, that your words kill people. So what to others he said, you are. Let's see, for example, like Joseph. He spoke to Joseph and he said, Joseph, you are a fruitful vine near the spring, because you have a conduct of faith. He said, who branches climb over the wall with he said, with bitterness archer attack him. He said, the archers of bitterness attack him. They shot him with hostility. Huh? But his bow remained steadily. You see? He said the archers of bitterness, the archers attacked him. Hostility came against him, but he kept himself steady. He had a conduct of faith. He could choose to be hostile. He could choose to be bitter. He took it off and he remained steady. He spoke about Joseph. He said, they betray you. They took everything you have. They sold you. They beat you. They mistreat you. But this was not an excuse for you to become bitter, hostile. But you remained steady. He said his strong arm stayed limber because of the hand of the Almighty One of Jacob, because of the shepherd, the rock of Israel, because of the Father God who helps you, because of the Almighty who bless you. With the blessings of the sky above, with the blessings of the spring below, with the blessings of the breast and the womb, your Father's blessings are greater than the blessings of the ancient mountains. The bounty of the age of hills. Let all this rest. Let all this rest on the head of Joseph and on the brow of the prince of his brothers. You see that Jacob spoke to each one of his sons according to their conduct. So we could choose today to embrace faith, or we could embrace or allow this emotion that we're given to us as a tool to control us, so we end up living by it.